Well, hello, Tabernacle family. We're so excited to be meeting together in the auditorium this coming Lord's Day. This will be our first meeting back in the auditorium. We had a wonderful outdoor meeting this past Sunday through Tuesday. Evangelist Scott Pauley brought 3 tremendous messages, and so many of you were able to attend. I appreciate you so much. And now we're glad that we have been able to get back into the auditorium this coming Lord's Day. I want to talk to you about our schedule and then talk to you about just some different things that we'll be doing to ensure that everyone is safe and able to worship the Lord together. First of all, let me talk to you about our schedule to help us make sure that we keep the distances that are needed. We're going to have 3 morning services. The first one will be at 8:30. And then the second service will be at 9:45, and the third service will be at 11 a.m. So we'll have 3 morning services. We're asking you to choose one of those services. Our deacons have been contacting all of you to ask you which service you would most likely attend. Once you come into the auditorium, we'll have folks to help you find a seat. But we want to try to keep the distancing we need. We'll seat families together. But we want to keep the distancing that is safe, and so I would encourage you choose one of those services: 8:30, 9:45, or 11 a.m. Now, because of that schedule, we're not going to be able to have Sunday school at its normal time, so we're going to have Sunday school through the Zoom format, which we've been doing all during this time. Our Zoom Sunday school class meetings will be Sunday evenings at 6 p.m. And so for our Sunday evening service, we'll have our Sunday school. Then on Wednesday evenings, we plan to meet together here for our prayer meeting. Our young people, our teenagers, will be meeting over in the cafeteria with the youth ministry, but our families will all be here in the auditorium. And then if you have children, we are going to keep the children with the parents, okay? And now we understand that some of you obviously are not ready for the return, or maybe because of an underlying health condition or because of your age, you feel it's safer for you to be at home. And so you want to continue to join us through live stream. We will live stream the 11 a.m. service. So every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. we'll have the live stream. Then Sunday evening 6 we'll do the Zoom Sunday school. And then on Wednesday evenings at 6:45, we will continue to live stream our Wednesday evening prayer meeting. Now let me talk to you about some procedural changes. First of all, when you enter the building, we're going to ask you, if you would, to use the hand sanitizer, and that'll be available for you in the foyer. During our services, we are going to forego the use of hymnals and bulletins, and we will utilize the screen in the auditorium, and we'll have the lyrics for the songs on the screen so we can all sing along and honor the Lord with our singing. As we have been before this COVID-19 situation, we had been refraining from handshaking and that kind of thing at fellowship time. We will continue to refrain from handshaking or hugging or any type of physical contact. Let me reiterate this again. If you are a senior adult or someone with an underlying health condition, then we encourage you to take advantage of the live stream and stay at home. If you do choose to attend the services in person and you're an older person, you have some concerns, we want to encourage you to wear a mask, a protective mask, to help keep you safe. We are planning to practice social distancing in the auditorium, and our ushers and our staff are going to help you with that. And here's what I want to ask you to do. I know we like to come in, find our normal seat, and just sit where we would like. And hopefully we'll have things distanced enough to do that. But let me encourage you to allow the ushers and the staff to help you find a seat. And I know that some of you want to sit in a certain area, but we'll work at that as much as possible to meet those needs. But I want to encourage you, when you come in, allow the ushers and the staff to help seat you, and they're going to help me ensure that we keep things where it needs to be to maintain the distances that are necessary. Once the service has ended, we're going to ask you to exit the auditorium quickly, because we're going to have a team of people who are sanitizing the building. We're going to wipe down the doorknobs and the surfaces. We're going to touch up the bathrooms and sanitize the bathrooms so we're ready for the next service. And we're going to have to do that quickly, because once people have exited the building and once the building has been sanitized, we'll be ready to open the building up for the next service. So if you're coming for the 9:45 service, you really don't want to get here any earlier than 9:30. If you're coming for the 11 o'clock service, you really don't want to get here any earlier than 10:45. People can congregate before the service in the school education building lobby. And as you know, those of you who attend here, it's just across the breezeway from the auditorium lobby. And so we'll ask you, if you need to congregate inside somewhere, that you take advantage of the education building lobby. We do not plan to have any nursery during the month of June, and we've been advised not to do that, and we also believe that is the best policy. So we will not have nursery. We will not have any children's ministries or children's services during the month of June. So we're going to ask that families with children keep their children with them. And if there is a need, for example, for a mother with a child to go out into a different place, we'll have a room available with a monitor, and you can see the service there, and then you can tend to the needs of your children. Some of you husbands and wives with younger children, you may want to even consider this. If it's going to be such a burden to bring your child with you and not have the child care through the nursery, then maybe one of you could come for an earlier service and one of you come for a later service. I know that's a little bit of an inconvenience, but that's an option for you to consider. Or again, you can consider using one of the areas that we'll have designated for you. And so we're going to do our best. I know that's a bit of a need, no doubt. No doubt it's a need for your family. But it's something that during this time, at least in the next few weeks, we're going to have to forego having a nursery or a children's ministry meeting. So I know you understand that, and I know we'll all work together to do our very best. Let me say this to you. We have sanitized the auditorium and the education building. We had a professional cleaner come in, and there was a fog treatment that they administered to make sure that the building was sufficiently sanitized. And so we're grateful that we had the opportunity to do that, and also to clean all of the surfaces and prepare. We've also made some adjustments in the auditorium. We've taken out some of the seating, not a lot of it, but we've taken out some of it, especially to maximize the distance in our aisles, and that especially on the outside aisles. As many of you know, it's been quite tight, and so we've widened that area, and just trying to do that to help with all the distancing that needs to be conducted. So those are some of the things that we are planning and some of the changes that we're going to have to make. I know that you are looking forward to meeting together. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Praying for God to work in a great and mighty way in our church family. And as we go, we may learn some things that we need to do a little bit differently, and we'll certainly make adjustments. And as soon as is safe, and we have some confidence about that, then we can begin to return to some normalcy with some of the other ministries that aren't quite operating at this moment. But we're looking forward to being together and excited about it, asking God to meet with us. I'm looking forward to seeing you this Sunday. May God bless you.